by Stephen Sondheim to come do a night where I have to tell this story and don't moan about it. I didn't even know I was going to tell it until I walked out here. I was asked to do a night, I think it was, what's that place next to the Edison? Is there a club there? What's that called? The Supper Club, okay. So we were going to do a night where somebody was going to interview him from it was Rick Pinder, I think, from the Sondheim Review. You don't remember? Anyway, I didn't know Mary-Mitchell, but Steve wanted me to do a song of my choice, and then he chose two others, and then we would do it, and he would talk about them, and this guy would interview him, Rick would interview him. And it was one of those nights where I should have sung Send in the Clowns, but I chose, because nobody cared about what we sang, but they wanted to hear Steve talk, and Mary-Mitchell was my pianist. We'd never met, and you were in India? Europe? China? She was busy. I think she just wanted from like South Africa or like from replanting the rainforest or whatever amazing it makes us all feel totally inferior, like we're wasting our lives. She's the definition of like, you know, higher being. So she had to learn this song. We get together to learn it. I was staying at Stephen Schwartz's, I remember, because we sat at his piano. Yeah. And she started to play the piano, and it was Finishing the Hat, and it was Franklin Shepherd Inc., really easy song. And What Can You Lose, which is the one that I chose, but Steve didn't think it was all that significant. He's like, whatever, some song I just wrote for Mandy. Talking to Mary-Mitchell, we're going through the music, and she says, so who's going to be there? And I said, well, this guy who's doing this interview, and of course, Stephen Sondheim. And she says, oh dear God, no. She'd never met him. And she was going to play for him, and he was going to be on stage. Anyway, she obviously killed. Not just that, we were about to go work with him on Company. So he says, yeah. So he says after the show, that was amazing. Mary-Mitchell, yeah, you guys come over to the house. And we'll have, drinks and just. It was late. So we're sitting in the living room at his feet. No, we were on never gonna work with him again, am I? We were sitting in the living room, and Mary-Mitchell's on one sofa, I'm on the other, and Steve is talking, and obviously she'd come from South Africa or China, or wherever the hell she came from, and everyone's talking, and Steve is talking to her, and she fell asleep in his face. She remembers him sort of, his face coming out of the gloom going, are you okay? So now you know the person who falls asleep while Stephen Sondheim is talking. So I was casting Company, which we didn't know I was going to be in. I'm going to take this off because I'm hanging out with you guys. And we went to Cincinnati and we worked on the show, and I'll never forget the first day that she played some of her orchestrations for the show for me. I had just finished doing Chitty Chitty Bang Bang on Broadway, which is, you need to go into therapy after you're done with that. Seriously, the car got the last bow, people. So, and sometimes that mother thing would sit up there above the audience for like 30 minutes while we were stuck up there waving because it didn't go. So I was like, I have to remember why I love theater. And I met John Doyle. John Doyle said, you want to come play Bobby? Steve said, you played better parts for me. You played George. Why would you want to play Bobby? Bobby's a terrible role. End of the show doesn't work. So we went to Cincinnati. We stayed at a place called the Vernon Manor. The Vernon Manor had, I swear it was haunted. Coleman, Mary-Mitchell's dog, would bark at the walls. Get up on the sofa and just go, staring at the wall. Doors would open and close by themselves. We would sit and drink gin and tonics until as late as possible, wondering why had we done this. And little by little, rehearsals started to come together for Company, and I realized it was a masterpiece. And Mary-Mitchell played those orchestrations the first time for me, and I thought, this is something really, really special, what she's done. I was so grateful. I remember you playing it on like a computer or something, right? Yeah, finale playback. It was snowing, I was smoking in the fire escape, all very New York. But what I heard from that music was, I thought this is going to thought I was just leaving town to like heal myself after cheaping. What an arrogant asshole. Instead, I was getting to do this thing, and I made one of the best friends I've ever had in my life, in Mary-Mitchell. And we got to do this play that was just probably some of the best work I'll ever get to do. And I think we tried very hard to earn that ending. And I know Steve was very proud. And Barbara's out here, Barbara Walsh, my Joanne. Watching her rehearse Ladies Who Lunch, that's like, I didn't know what the hell that song was about. She started singing it, and I was like, oh, it's about death. I had no idea. Like, she just tapped into this place where I felt like a little kid. I had seen her in falsettos when I was in college. She blew me away, and just to get to work with her on stage, so to be here for her, for Jack, and for my friend is really special. Thank you all for coming tonight. All right, I guess I got sentimental, so let's just do this.